Everybody, we hope you guys are having a wonderful, fantastic, beautiful, gloomy day ahead. Yesterday was a rainy night. I'm the forecaster, your host, Jave Martel. I wanted to say thank you guys for being a part of the family. We've been out for the last 3 days on our lives. It has been a challenging, I'd say, challenging week. I guess we would just give you a brief update, just knowing that God got us though. But the family's been sick, or under the weather. I like that word better. I don't like sick. The family's been under the weather. I was the first one. Wife was the second. Daughter was the third. And from there, I end up going to a practice session and didn't properly stretch. So I end up pulling and straining a muscle in my lower back. So I've been down for the count. So yeah, this thing's been happening, guys. We were like, dang, man, we haven't been showing up for the week. But long story short, we're here today. I said we're going to hop on for a few, you know what I'm saying? It's better to show up for a little bit and then, just basically hop out and give you guys some love because you guys been showing us a lot of support and a lot of generating a lot of love for us. So, we definitely got to show our gratitude. And this is one of the ways of showing our gratitude, guys. Today's conversation is going to be just about what I have been reading from The Richest Man in Babylon. My wife is going to have a lot of things to say when she comes in here, because she's going to like a lot of what's being said. Because this week has been about finances, and she's a guru when it comes to the finances. You heard what I said, guru? She's a guru. So today's conversation is going to be about what I've been reading, outside of us recovering from this week. And we appreciate you guys for giving the love, man. Look, so The Richest Man in Babylon. Have you guys ever heard of it? Drop a 1 in the comment if you have. This book is pretty old right now, but there has been some gems that I've been getting so far, and it's something to share with you guys, something to implement. I will give you the three rules of what is this one? The 3 rules of what? I don't want to say. This is not the 3 rules of gold. Nope, it's not this one. Purse, I desire, So he went through a stage and ended up getting hit. Okay, so in this book, man, there's going to be phases. So in this chapter, the first chapter that I already completed, he's talking about the richest man in Babylon, right? And so you have this individual whose name is you got Arkad, you got another gentleman who's basically realized he had a dream that he was wealthy, right? Like he wasn't wanting for anything, and he could be able to circulate his money without feeling and coming from a place of lack. And then he ended up waking up from this dream, right? Woke up from this dream, he realized he was back in reality. He owned this shop, and he wasn't making much money, right? Like they could only eat porridge and goat's milk, right? So, and then their food's running empty. The wife was like, "Yo, you should get back to the job, right? Like you should be going to work and you should be finishing that project." So he was a chariot maker. So he would craft chariots for wealthy people, right? So in this process, like he got really conflicted because in his dream, what's up, everybody? Push-ups again, 277 push-ups in the building. He didn't put it, but he said, hello, push-ups. I love that. Hey, I should write a shirt. I should create a shirt for him. 277 push-ups. No, hello, push-ups. 277 push-ups. I should create a shirt for you, bro. Anyways, yeah. So in this, he got really conflicted because he's like, "Yo, man, I'm over here making chariots, and I've been doing this for over 10 years, and I'm not making any turnover profit. My family's really, scraping it from the mud, and if I was to die, like, I wouldn't be able to." I would be able to provide for them, right? So he's going through this whole phase, and he goes to his friend. He's like, "Yo, man, haven't you wondered why we're not making, like, why is it that we live in the richest country or richest city, right? And therefore, we're not making any money. Like, we making money, we've gotten paid, but like not enough to make us well off, like we thought we were going to be doing by putting in so much hard work." It says, "Does anyone know my channel?" We do not, but now we're gonna know it. Era, dude. 64. So I'm gonna find this aspect where he's talking to this older gentleman. This older gentleman is very wealthy, right? So he ended up coming in the shop, and he ended up getting, I think his friend. No. This is Arkad we're talking about. This is second. This is the last individual, the third individual that they bring into the story. So, long story short, after questioning each other, they're like, "Yo, I need to know what to do, right? We need to know, we should be able to question people who are wealthy. Like, we're being around them, why we're not asking them questions? Yeah. Obviously, we're doing something wrong, right?" And so they're like, "Yo, you remember our friend Arkad, right? Yeah, he's wealthy, right? Why don't we go ask him?" So they go find Arkad. I'm making this really short and sweet. You go find Arkad, and Arkad is the one who's the wealthy man. So he's like, yeah, he's like, so they explaining, like, we all came from the same school, had the same teacher, had this same city. Like, how is it that you're more wealthy than we are? And what did you do that's more different? What you done and what we all come from, it doesn't make you any special than we are. Right. So what did we learn? Right. And so they asked him the question, and he's like, "Yo, the only difference between me and you is that at one point," he was like, "First of all, you're right. There's nothing special about me. Because at one point, I was struggling. I was trying to pick up side hustles. I was doing all these things. And one day, it just dawned on me. A gentleman came into the store, which is this older fellow that I'm talking about. And he came in the store, and he was a very wealthy man. And he asked him to write him a scribe, right? And this is how he kind of had, this is why they say, put yourself, you never know at the right place at the right time where you're at, right? Because sometimes you get impulses to ask certain questions. And if you don't act on those impulses and you come from a place of fear or lack, then you don't take advantage of the possibilities of what could have been given or what type of information would have been blessed upon you, right? So he asked this older gentleman, he was like, "What is it that you do to make you so wealthy?" Right? But he actually had to ask him this because the older gentleman came to the store, asked him to have the scribes ready at a certain particular date. They weren't ready when he came back the next day. And at this point, he was like, "Hey, Soulful Lovely in the building, Masterful Rich Rising." So they weren't ready when he showed up. And he was pretty mad. He was like, "Yo, if I was a slave, this man would have probably beat me. But the fact that I'm a free man, like, I got some rights right now, And so he asked him about wealth, and he said, "I'll make you a deal, right? I'll stay up all night to have these ready by in the AM. If you tell me, how did you acquire wealth?" Right? So I found a road to success, right?
Ooh, the weather looks good outside.
It does.
It's so gloomy.
Okay, so she brings ruin. Okay, yep. Ooh. Say hello to everybody while I try to figure out where I'm at.
Hey guys, what's popping? What's happening? Hi, welcome back, Royal Nita. Grand Rising, everything. Preppy Stars, Aerodo 64. Who else? Who else is in here? Okay, I think that's all of the comments. But to everyone who's in here, hello you guys. Thank you for being part of the family. We are so grateful for you guys. We are grateful. Hey, thank you. He said hello, gorgeous. What are you figuring out?
Where to drop these gems right quick.
Okay, I feel like my husband wants to talk about.
You want to read this part too?
He wants to talk about the richest man in Babylon, right?
Yeah.
That's what this is. It. Oh my God, this is such an old book that went through a lot. And I realized that wealth increased the potence of all these. Wealth is a power with wealth. What?
Yeah,
Wealth is a power. With wealth, many things are possible. That's true. One may ornament the house with the richest of furnishings. One may sail the distant seas. One may feast on the deliciousness. That doesn't look like deliciousness. Of far lands. One may buy the ornaments of the gold workers and the stone polisher. One may even build mighty temples for the gods. One may do all those things and many others in which there is delight for sense and gratification
for the
soul.
So what is being said right now is he's describing the power of wealth, right? He's describing the expression of being able to exercise wealth, right? And the feeling that you get within the soul of feeling not even fulfillment, but feeling abundant, right? He said, how I got to this point was that I decided that if I was to achieve what I desired, time and study would be required.
Right.
Okay? As for study, did not our wishes... this is when they're talking to Arkad. Did not our... Okay, yeah.
What's up, friend? Welcome back.
This is the conversation that the two gentlemen who sought out Arkad, which was the third friend who they grew up together, right?
Yeah.
He said, as for study, did not our wise teacher teach us that learning was of two kinds? Number one, the one kind being things we've learned and know already, right? And the other being the training that taught us how to find out what we did not know. So in other words, you got two ways of learning. You learn from the city, you learn from the country, you learn from your environment, you learn from your household, you learn from, the society, right? And then you have the other way of learning. The other way of learning is seeking out, finding books, asking questions, going to seminars, finding mentors. You have these other ways of acquiring, finding new skills, learning new skills, acquiring new skills. Skills that help solve problems, right? You become a solution-based problem solver, right? And so he was telling them there's two ways of learning. You learn from the world, or you learn from actually being a problem solver. You learn from actually acquiring the wisdom. He says, remember,
you learn from the lessons as well. As you make mistakes, as you fail, you learn. I was talking to someone yesterday. They were saying that we were talking about failure, literally. However, it ended up to a point where I was like, some people think that if you fail, you should just quit because it's over. But literally failing, you shouldn't give up. You should keep going, because if you fail, that's where you learn more, and that's where you acquire more skills and the ability to take control of making sure that if this happens again, this is what I'm going to do. And then you can teach more people about that that whole thing, what you went through. That's where it comes into, like, now you're telling people, avoid this. If you want to avoid this, then come to me. But that's not the point. The point is, stop wanting to quit when you fail. When you fail, just close your eyes and say, okay, I'm going to breathe in and breathe out, and then I'm going to start this all over again. And this time, I'm not going to do 1, 2, 3, because now I found the problem. This was the problem. I'm going to make sure that I don't do this, right? So I feel like we shouldn't run away from failing. We should embrace failing. We should embrace lessons.
Absolutely.
Because if you fail, that means you are learning a certain lesson. There was something that you did wrong that you need to go back and fix because you started this. There's no way that you cannot start it all over again. And there's no way that you don't know what you're doing just because you just failed. If you were able to do it, it means it's yours.
Like somebody said, that was Soulfully Anita. She said that book beat up. I think she said it's beat up.
Oh yeah.
Sort of beat up. It is.
Beat up,
you see the page on? Look, I was like, dang, bro, I need another book, bro. Yeah, it's beat up.
The first time I saw
it, is beat up. Look at the back.
Oh my god.
It's jacked up, but I mean it's gold. It's gold. He says, my good people, making a difference. I hear you. I mean, how are you? We're doing fantastic. Thank you, brother, for recognizing game. All praise to the Most High. Fear and bad, what is this? Fear and bad thoughts. It takes over something. Sometimes and stops you. And absolutely. But it can't stop you unless you give power to it. It don't really stop you. You are so divine in your purpose that nothing can stop you, only you can stop you. Yeah. So it's like they can come in, but if you accept that which is spoken and you say that is I, then that is what it becomes. I like this book called God Only Says Yes. Because like if you are in a moment where you're like, I'm not worthy, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm sick, I'm that, and God says yes.
You are.
Yes.
But if you say I'm powerful, I'm strong, I'm financially free, God says yes, you are.
And there's a quote that you heard of that old quote where it says, I am that I am that I am, right? And you have also heard God say, I am that I am, right? And this is when the time when Moses was asking God's name, right? And God says, I am that I am, because he didn't want to subject himself to a certain specific title, a certain specific name,
right?
Because he's so divine, right? In this experience. But let us hop back on there. I was trying to run through these statements.
Soulfully said that so was true. I was saying that's the best book.
Oh.
It is the best book.
Oh, what's the beat up though? I see beat up. It says sort of beat up. Nah, yeah, but this is a really good book. So hopping back to this, so they're having the spat, right? And so they're asking these questions, and like he's like, yo, from all that I earned, so this was the first gem that I got. From all that I earned is mine to keep, right? And I didn't understand it at first because it's having this biblical old way of speaking, right?
Yeah.
And as I said it a few times, I started to really grasp what he was going with this. And as I read more, I got more clarity. And so the guy's like, well, I don't really have a tenth. I'm already struggling with what I have right now just to have ends meet, right? And she's like, no, that's not true. He says, apart from all that I earn, right, is mine to keep. Is it not? Right? And he was basically like, dude, do you not go pay the garment guy that makes your clothes? Do you not go pay the sandaler guy? Do you not go pay for food to eat? Do you not go pay to spend and live in Babylon? Do you not do all these things, right? He was like, fool, right? You're sitting here around town giving all of this money.
I don't know if you can see the name, but it's
The Richest Man in Babylon.
The Richest Man in Babylon by some George something.
So he's like, fool. He's like, you've been doing this, right? You've already been giving your money out, right? Are you telling me that you can't go within Babylon without spending any money, right? You can't go within your city and your country and your nation and your, you know what I'm saying, in your community and not spend money, right?
Right.
You could have, right? So he's going in this part where he's like, you speak but half the truth, right? He retorted. Every piece of gold you save is a slave to work for you. Every piece of currency you save is a slave to work for you. Damn. Every copper it earns is its children, or its child, right? That also can earn for you, right? So when you obtain gold and it's a piece of gold, you now make it your slave. And then every copper piece that it earns is now a child. It's child of it, right? And so you're getting the concept that you're making its children be your slave to bring in more money, right? And this is what he's explaining. Copper is earned is its child that also can earn for you. If you would become wealthy, then what you save must earn, and its children must earn. Yeah. And all may help to give to you the abundance you crave, right? So he's dropping game on him right now. He's like, if you're very wise enough, then you understand what I'm talking about right now. But he actually makes this statement in here. He was like, he says, but I am paying you 1,000 times over if you have the intelligence to grasp the truth that I am offering you. I said, ooh, slow motion the other way. Ooh. So I'm gonna get to this point real quick because I wanted to make this short and sweet, but I guess we just never can make this short and sweet, guys.
we never can make anything short and sweet.
So he says, apart from all you earn is yours to keep. Yeah. It should be not less than a tenth, no matter how little you earn. It can be as much more as you can afford. Pay yourself first. That was the first law. That was the first nugget. Wealth, like a tree, grows from a tiny seed. The first copper
I can say a lot about that.
I know. That's what I say. Like, the first copper you save is the seed from which your tree of wealth shall grow. The sooner you plant the seed, the sooner shall the tree grow. And the more fruitfully you nourish and water the tree with consistent saving, the sooner you may bask in the commitment benefit it shields, right? So he's like, the commitment benefits it shields. He's basically saying how you'll be able to bask in the glory of you had nothing. And when you stay consistent with this matter of the 10th, and it now becomes a muscle.
Not even the 10th. It could be, okay.
It could be more, but he's saying like in this situation, I could have read what the guy was saying, and he was coming from a good place. He was like, yo, like, I got to do this. I don't have nothing left, right? I got the family. We only eating porridge and goat's milk. And I got to sit here and crate stuff, and you should have heard. And so as he was explaining, it was like, man, that's crazy. But he was like, dude, he's like, even if you got your check, what damage would it make if you still took a tenth of it? Because all of it's going to get used anyway.
Anyways, yeah.
Right? And he was like, dude, you can make a tenth. And how he explained that part was like,
I feel like it's also how you use it. Because if you don't put it in right places, it's not going to do the work anyways. Right. I like the seed part, that money is like a seed. Money is like a seed. I remember a long time ago when we were, going through building our finances, right? My husband used to use $2, $3 from what would you go 7-Eleven. Most of the time when I look at the bank statement, I'm like, it's 7-Eleven, $2, $3. I'm like, I will have to add up this money for him to see how much is this. Even if you save $2 every day, that comes up to something.
The Richest Man in Babylon. So remember that. You can audiobook it too on YouTube. I audiobooked it and listened to it like 5 times before I actually got the hard copy. And the hard copy, I say doing both because listening to it gets you to grasp, but seeing the words and highlighting the words is what really pulls it in. You listening, you can get the verbiage and how the story is being told, because the way that they articulate the words is kind of like how the Bible is in a way.
Right.
And you just want to be able to grasp, because there's major gems in this mug, man.
So what I wanted to say is that I would calculate all this money, and then at the end of the month it will come up to at least $120, and I'll be like, this could be savings, like real savings. And that we building right now, we're building our finances. He shouldn't be using these $2, and he didn't see a problem because he was like, it's just $2, it's not going to make any difference. I was like, at the end of the month, it does make a difference. It makes a very huge difference, because if you save up $10 every day for 30 days, that's $300 in total. So you have saved up $300 from saving just $10 every day. Let me say you used to use $10 by buying something at work, lunch, and then now you start bringing your lunch, right? You take the $10 that you used to use, and then you save it up. At the end of the month, it's going to be $300. Period. So the seed part, I love it. What did it say
All
again? Go back.
Damn, girl.
I know.
I'm on
I like
to
it.
the last.
It says, wealth, like a tree grows from a tiny seed. So as little as you save, it grows. It doesn't stay the same. You can't save $10 for 30 days and still get $10.
Now I'm gonna give you the 3 steps at the very end, okay? After acquiring this information from Arkad, after acquiring this information from, what is his name again? Arkad was the one who was receiving it. Algamish. So Algamish is the older gentleman, right? Who's very wealthy. And so he decides to acquire this wealth. And I like what Algamish said to Arkad at this point when Arkad asked for the information. He was like, most youth, become fools, right? Because they think, though I being an old man, that the times have changed. And he had this one aspect. Man, I don't want to do this, but I really want to.
You're like, I don't want to do this.
That's
true, Adrian.
He had this one perspective that
Andrea.
He was like, I am becoming an old man. And an old man tongue, or he says,
I'm sorry, I need to appreciate this lady before she leaves. She says, thank you guys for the knowledge. I got to go. I hope your channel goes far. We appreciate you for the blessings and blessings to you as well.
Thank you. We receive and also to you as well. So what he said was, he says,
you'll have a great day.
I am becoming an old man. And an old tongue loves to basically speak, right? Or loves to basically have good, wealthy conversations if you can atone to that. He says, and as youth comes to an age for advice. And when youth comes to an age for advice, basically an older person, age for advice to receive, or he receives the wisdom of years, right? He receives the wisdom as he's asking this older person. He's obviously getting, he's quantum leaping, basically in so many words. But too often does you think that age knows only the wisdom of days that are gone, meaning the old stuff, right?
Right.
And this is the part that I took right here. He says, and therefore profits not.
Too high. Too loud.
And therefore profits not. He says, remember this. He says, the sun that shines today is the sun that shined when my father was born, right? And will still be shining when the last grandchild shall pass unto the darkness. So his father and his children before him and also his grandchildren is going to be the same sun. He's like, there's nothing new under the sun, guys.
Right.
It all works. It's all the same. It's all the same repetition. And I had to really take that note right there. He says, the wisdom of age. Did I read this to you guys? The wisdom of age is like the fixed stars that shine so unchanged that the
reading the book. By the time they read the book, it's gonna be boring.
Hey, stop! You be quiet. Shine so, shine so.
I wouldn't want to read a book with somebody already. Okay, go ahead.
Shine so unchanged that the sailor may depend upon them to stir their course, right? And so he's saying like the stars are going to be where they at, right? And years after years after years and years before and after, there's still going to be the compass to show the sailors on the road how to get to. So there's nothing new under the sun. The wisdom that is acquired now is going to be the same wisdom that is acquired then, right? And so my last point to what I wanted to get to earlier and finish this off, which was the 3 rules, right? The 3 laws of the first chapter. And it was, he says again, save each 10th copper, right? Save each 10th of the money that you make. For I now had formed the habit. So Elgamish had basically left for a year, I believe it was a year, after giving him the gems, right? He was like, yeah, first do this first step. I'm going to come back and I'm going to see if you did this first step. Right? So he gave him a nugget. He left for a year, came back. He was like, yo, so how's everything going? He just came out of nowhere. Hey, how's it going? Like, basically, he's like, so have you done what I told you a while back? He's like, yeah. He's like, again, I've saved every 10th of copper. For now I had formed an habit, right? I formed this habit because I kept doing it, right? And it was no longer difficult for me to do because I kept doing it. He says, I have paid myself fruitfully, right? And he's talking about this long year, right? And he says, so what have you done with this, right? He says, you do chill. He says, you do eat chill. Oh, so I like how he was saying, then how do you expect? Oh, okay, this is a good one. He says, so he was asking him, like, basically, what do you do with your savings? What have you done with it since then? He was like, he was talking about, like, you know, I've done the honey and I did the fest with the wine, fine wine, the spice cakes and stuff like that, right? And things of this matter. But he asked him how was he making the money work for him, right? And so what he did was he took that savings and he gave it to a brass maker or whatever or not. And so he was getting rental payments from this brass maker, right? I should probably tell y'all this one. He says, I replied, my savings I have entrusted to Agar, right, the shield maker, to buy brass, and each fourth month he does pay me the rental, right? So he got his money working for him at this point, right? And he's like, so what do you do with that money when you get, you know what I'm saying, after you already saved and you invested your money for it to make money for you? What do you do? He's like, you know, I go treat myself. You know what I'm saying? Now I got money working for me, I go treat myself. And so
he invested in bronze.
Right.
Each fourth month. So every 4 months he
basically collects rent from the shield maker,
which is from the investment. So it's dividends. So he gets his dividends every fourth month. Yeah.
Right? And so after he was revealing, like, what do you do with your earnings of what your money is working for you? He's like, oh, I go do this and do this. So the Algamish laughed. He's like, kind of like, you still young, you still figuring it out. Yeah. He was like, do you not eat the He's like, you do eat the children of your savings, right? You do eat the children of your savings. Then how do you expect them to work for you?
Right.
He says, and how can they have children that will also work for you? First, get thee a army of golden shields, and then
that's golden slaves.
Oh, golden slaves. I'm sorry. First, get you an army of golden slaves, and then many of rich banquets may you enjoy without regret. So he's telling you to go, instead of you going to go pay and treat yourself, go buy more gold. Go get more of this currency so that you can make it work for you 10 times more in other areas.
Shit.
So that way you can now you can take the fine wine and all of this, right? Because now you got it working for you 5 times, 7 times over, aka passive income. 8 forms of passive incomes, 7 forms of passive incomes, 3 forms, 5. You get the gist. He says, so all collectively, after giving you this wisdom, I'm gonna leave. Oh no, so this is my last point, and then we off. He says, after everything, I'm telling you this, and this is what I want you to understand, and this is what I want you to do. But he's like, overall, you've done good. He says, you've learned to live upon less than you could earn. That was number 1. You first learned to live upon less than you could earn. The next step. Next, you have learned to seek advice from those who were competent through their own experiences to give it. So in this experience, what he's talking about right now, he ended up giving his first savings, which he lost. I didn't go through that because it wasn't important yet. Now it is. He ended up giving his first savings that he saved for a year to a guy who was not a diamond person, right? This guy was a brick maker or something. They make fun of it now. He was like, this is the quote he says, and I answered, not yet all that I desire. So he was asking, like, have you now acquired the wealth that you been wanting and dreamed of? Not yet have I acquired the desire, but Some have I, and it earned more, right? And it basically earned for me, and its earnings even more, right? So it's earning, he got it earning it again. He basically took the advice that he was telling him last time. He says, and do you still think, or do you still take the advice of brick makers about brick making? He said, they give good advice. I retorted, right? So he was like making fun because that was the situation that he was in. He gave money, he gave his savings to the brick maker to go on a mission overseas to then acquire rubies. He's a brick maker. He doesn't know anything about rubies. He doesn't know how to articulate. So, long story short, the brick maker came back. The dude sold them glass that looked like gems.
And also, this also tells you that you should not give up just because you made one mistake. That
Exactly.
mistake means that you should have thought of that. How can I tell someone who doesn't have what he says he owns or he can buy for me
Exactly.
and expect them to do that?
Exactly.
So it's your loss and it's a learning. It's a lesson.
It's a lesson.
Yes.
So he's like next you learn to seek advice from those who are competent through their experiences to give it to you. He says, and lastly, you have learned to make gold work for you.
Right.
He says you have taught yourself how to acquire money, how to keep it, and how to use it. And that's my wrap up for chapter 1. So those are the 3 things.
So you guys are gonna get the whole book, huh?
Yeah, you're gonna get the whole book. Yeah, you should. You should be able to.
Well, you should have. You should be.
Because then I'm not even at the part where it's the 5 rules of gold. The 5 laws of gold.
Yeah.
Right? These are the 3 laws of acquiring wealth. I wonder if I highlighted what he called it.
It's also good. It's also good to know that you're allowed to make mistakes, and mistakes is gonna happen. You're gonna lose a lot of money. You're gonna lose money when you do things. Like we have lost a lot of money. We've lost a lot of money trying to.
We've circulated a lot of money
to save. Yeah, we've circulated a lot of money trying to save. I mean, most of the people call it a loss for them to understand what it is. Trying to save, trying to open businesses and so on and so forth. But we're still here. We're still moving because we didn't take our losses as losses. We took our losses as lessons. So it's very important.
So the lesson of today was the 3 rules of the 3 laws of acquiring. No, the 3 laws of saving.
Can you pass me the tablet?
Acquiring knowledge, and making your money work for you. But the message of the day is, apart from all I earn is yours to keep.
Yeah.
Meaning everything you make, you should be paying yourself before you make that money go work for someone else. You should definitely pay yourself first. You should definitely take 1/10 of everything you earn. Every piece of currency that you get that flows through your hands, take a piece of 10. 1/10 is the lowest form, right? Most people are like, no, I can do 20, right? Yeah, but knowing your finances, the point is to making it a muscle where you do it for an extended period of time, not for a short period of time. Right? And then your savings is not...
Okay, watch this. I just read it over here. It says a part of all you earn is yours to keep. I love that. A part. I know. I had to read it again
that's what I was saying.
To
to register it.
Yes, I'm like,
because when I first read it in the beginning, I was like, apart from all I earn is yours to keep. What does that mean? What?
Part of, yes.
Apart from all I earn
is yours to keep.
Is yours to keep. 1/10 of everything I bring in is mine to keep.
Yes. So it's up to you whether you do it the right way or you do it the wrong way. I think this is the end of our video. So we shall see you tomorrow at the same time, same place. Same time, same place, 8 a.m. Central. And yeah, that's about it.
I got mucus on the rundown.
We haven't been feeling good, you guys, lately. That's why we went out here for about 3 days for the first time. For the first time in forever. Yeah. So yes, we love you guys. Go on and
go enjoy your day.
Go enjoy your day.
Apart from all you earn is yours to keep. Apart from all you earn is yours to keep. All right. So I'm only saying this too, man. And the reason why I decided to share this today, because we didn't have a specific conversation to talk about. But
I think that was a great conversation.
But it was something that I've seen people, even at the workplace, who was talking about, like, yo, I don't really have much, and I got bills, and I only made this much, and da-da-da-da, and I literally, my rent was, I got paid 15, but my rent was 14, and I only had this, and I was like, I mean, you gon' spend all of what you have, because the first thought was pay all your bills, pay your rent. Second thought was I need something to eat. So that means all your money goes away, and you ain't even pay yourself. And there's a part in this book where he was talking about a sense of you putting that 10th, and by the time you look over there and look, you're like, damn. And it is a emotional connection that you see what you've been doing is now growing over there. And so what it does, it goes into your emotions, into that feeling place of, I'm abundant. Wow, like it's growing. Like it makes you feel a certain way. I don't know. It's like tricking your subconscious mind in a way too, because you're growing. It's not saying that I'm poor, I'm lackful, when you have something sitting over there. But you can only understand this from firsthand experience. It's not something you can tell somebody who ain't never done it. So the point is to make yourself acquire the feeling by doing the action.
And also, too, we have. I feel like most of the people most of the people that I've met and explain these type of things to them, they don't understand because they have standards. They have standards that they cannot afford.
Yeah.
If you can afford something, you shouldn't be complaining about anything. You should look at yourself and say, you know what? I've been buying all these clothes. I've been buying so many clothes, and you have so much clothes, and it doesn't really take you anywhere. You know, it doesn't really give you anything. I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy your clothes and stuff like that, but at least have security, and then buy all the clothes that you want to buy after that, and keep what you have. Take care of your stuff, because if you don't take care of your stuff, if you don't take care of your clothes, you can't even take care of yourself, to be honest with you.
Facts.
But anyways, I think that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Just make sure that you stay focused, and just make sure that you put your money where it's gonna work for you.
Put your money where your mouth
and
is.
Put your money in right places. Make sure you pay yourself every 10th, and don't take that 10th and go splash. No, take that 10th and save.
He was talking about the temptations. What she's talking about? He was talking about the temptation because he was like, I looked over there and I was like, damn, there's a lot of money over there. He's like, I really had to track myself and have discipline not to touch that money. And they talked about that part. He's like, after even putting that 10th over there and seeing that it was building, he was like, there was a couple times I got tempted. I'm like, ooh, I want that. I got that over there sitting.
Go rice and beans and rice if you have to, okay? Yeah. You don't have to buy unnecessary things that you really don't need.
Understand that we're not talking about a traditional mindset of saving. We're talking about saving for a particular time, which in his story, he saved for a year, right? And everything was quantum. Like it went 1 year, and then the second time Arkad Algamish came, it was 2 years. It took him 2 years. I'm like, damn, they just 2 year in it, 1 year in it. Like, what about 6 months? Everybody instant gratification ass. But
6 months.
But imagine, he acquired that wealth within a whole year, and he stayed disciplined within that whole year, and he had that money to then go do. He didn't keep it and then hold on to it and come from a place of lack or fear that, oh, I did all this saving, now I just gotta hold on to it, I don't want to touch it. Your money's not working for you. So that was another thing. So don't go traditional. By saving the money, go have a place for it to go to then go make more money.
Have a vision. Where there is no vision, people perish.
Yeah.
Have a vision, because you're going to get tempted if you don't have a vision for the money. I'm saving this money because I want security. I'm saving this money because I don't want to eat the porridge every day. Yeah. I'm saving this money because I want freedom. I'm saving this money because this is the investment I want to invest in. Yeah. So know what you're doing, and stay locked in. Okay.
God vibes only.
God vibes only. We love you.
All right, one up.